Welcome to Awakened Titans podcast with Lily Patrascu, mind-blowing conversations with influential business titans sharing how you can manifest abundance, love, joy, success through quantum awakening, quantum manifestation, quantum healing, quantum miracles, exponential business growth, and innovative products and services. Discover how to get peak performance in this amazing session with Kevin Dunlap, and he's a lead trainer for entrepreneurs. And Kevin has been an entrepreneur since 1999 when he was downsized at a job he started that he thought was a secure job. So he started his entrepreneurial background with a network marketing company, but soon after started a real estate consultancy business after moving from East Coast North Carolina to Las Vegas. And Kevin has written 4 books, created a multitude of online training programs, and is currently working on an international podcast called Business Amplified. He's now working as a business coach for small business owners through his company called Optimal Performance Academy, that you can find at www.optimalperformanceacademy.org. So, Kevin, please tell us, what's the secret to your success?
The secret to any success is finding a passion that you're that or an area that you're passionate about, and then I don't want to say the word exploiting, but following that passion and to help other people follow their passions as well.
Great. And tell us, what does it take for us as entrepreneurs to achieve peak performance?
Well, the thing is you always got to be learning. You always got to be adapting. One of the things I learned in my real estate consultation business is no matter whatever the market is telling you, it's going to tell you that you have to be adaptable. You have to be able to change to meet that market. Back in the early 2000s, when I was living in Las Vegas, I had a real estate consultation business that was mainly predominantly working with lease option or rent to own real estate, which basically what that means is that a person is moving into a house with the intention of buying that house. Now, for the most part, the market has to be improving or getting better or raising prices. However, in 2008, when the market took a huge dump across the world, my business model, would have failed. But I found a way to adapt to that. So for me or for anybody out there is to build a business, be adaptable to changing times, because things could happen like a declining market or COVID or some other kind of issues coming up, is to be able to adapt to whatever change that are coming up in the environment.
Thank you. Now, what makes you an awakened business titan? And how can entrepreneurs become an awakened business titan?
Well, the thing is always be learning. It's always to be bringing in new data into your business. This could be through personal growth classes. This could be through business development courses. It's always to be adaptable. It's always to be able to. It's always to be bringing in new ideas and new data into your business.
Thank you. And tell us about how you became an awakened titan. What I mean by that is, tell us some of the achievements or the case studies of entrepreneurs you have helped to have optimal performance.
Well, for me, I think it happened back in 2010. So I was already in business for like 6 years at that time, and for me it was starting to working on myself in the personal development realm, and that was what changed my life. That is what changed my world. Now, when I wrote my second book is based upon those personal development changes that I was going through. And that book is called Designing Your Own Destiny. And it was when I became more aware of who I was and how am I showing up in the world. That is what changed me. That's what changed my business model completely. And even to this day, more than a decade later, I still go back to those things that I learned in my personal development career or personal development journey that I still use today. I mean, and I question myself every day when a situation comes up. Even yesterday, a situation came up that was like, how should I do this? And I go back to what I learned from my personal development journey. Like, okay, this is how I should react rather than reacting emotionally or based upon, just complete, a gut response. Like, no, how can I make this situation better? But rather than just going off of some emotional reaction.
Thank you. And which results have you achieved that makes you an awakened business titan? Any cumulative results? For example, have you helped, I don't know, 10,000 people or 500 people, or what number of people have you helped and what results have they achieved? And what have you personally achieved that makes you a business titan?
Well, the thing is, I mean, I look back over the thousands of people that I've dealt with over the last 20 plus years, and 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 I just look at the results that they have gotten or that they have achieved, and by them stepping out of their own way. The biggest thing that I've seen with most people is that they are their own worst enemy. It is, it is to step back and allow other people to help them actually achieve more, help them to become uh, a better person as well as a better business.
Okay, very good. And what helped you to awaken to your own potential and decide to help others with it?
I've always been an outward focused person, and that's just who I've been my entire adult life. I mean, I was a college math teacher at one point in time. I was, when I was in real estate, I was always about how can I go that extra mile. So I've always been outward focused, and what I've learned, and I guess back in 2010 when I was working with a network marketing company. There was a quote, I think it was by Zig Ziglar or J. Paul Getty, that said, "I would rather have the efforts or make the efforts off of 1% of 100 people than 100% of my own efforts." And that's when I started realizing, like, for me, it's not about what I can do for myself. It's how can I help somebody else? And then what's going to happen to me is that the result of helping other people is what's going to make my business better, or it's going to make me better. So always being outward focused.
Okay, thank you. And was there any particular experience that kind of got you to think, oh my God, I should help thousands more people, or hundreds, or 20, or however many?
I guess my first realization about that was when I came across a gentleman by the name of Robert Allen, and Robert Allen was all about because he was a real estate guy, and he was like, instead of me focusing on me becoming a millionaire from his perspective, I'd rather make 1 million people to become millionaires. And but the thing is, by making them become millionaires, that just means his business is going to get bigger and better. So again, it's always about setting up a situation where you're helping others, and by helping others, that means your business is going to improve. So one of my goals is I want to help 100,000 people to become six-figure earners in their business. Is to approach that level. But the thing is, I'm not like I want to be a millionaire off of this. No, and yes, I charge so much money, but if I'm going to help 100,000 people to become, six-figure earners themselves, that just means that my business is going to explode exponentially.
Great. And how many of these people have you already helped to do that? Um, or how many people have you helped perhaps to improve their, I don't know, their personal relationship with their wife, or their team relationship, or their personal performance in a way that they are more content? Was there any specific number of people that you have helped with anything in particular that helped them to grow their business to six figures, or perhaps to just be happier with their current standard of living, or to have more freedom, to create a freedom lifestyle? Was there any number or stats that you can give to us so we can understand the caliber of the person that you are?
Absolutely. Now we've not gotten to the goal of 100,000 people. We're still on our path to get there. I don't know the exact number. At the time of this recording, we're over 1,000, but we're not at 100,000 yet. So we're still early into our phase. And my goal is this is like a lifetime goal, is to hit that 100,000 mark. Now, people want to say, well, what's going to happen when I hit that mark? Well, that mark would then become 500,000. That mark will become 1 million people. That is just my first goal. That's my first tangible goal. So yes, we're on our way. We are on our way to get there. We're over 1,000, but so we're well short of 100,000. But that is our dream. That is our aspirations.
Very good. And what kind of results have these entrepreneurs achieved as a result of working with you?
Well, the thing is, my goal is to get their business to the six-figure level.
Mhm.
And the thing is, by getting to that six-figure level, you often have to break it down into smaller steps. So to get to $100,000 a year US, that means you're going to have to hit that $8,000 a month goal. So my goal is, how can we get you to consistently hit $8,000 a month? Now, once they are hitting that level, then they're starting to realize that yes, I can do it. Their confidence level does change, their attitude does change. Sometimes they're bringing on partners in order to hit that level, and once they hit that $8,000 a month level, it's like, now how can we double that? How can we get you to 16,000? How can we get you to $20,000 a month?
Okay, I see. Very good. And what's your message for entrepreneurs worldwide?
My message basically is, if you can dream it, then you can achieve it. And therefore, the thing is, too many people are they have a lot of self-doubt. But the thing is, once they start getting those levels of accomplishment, then their self-doubt goes away. And it's going to be, sometimes it's going to be an attitude shift. Sometimes it's going to be a habit shift. And it could be any of a number of those things. But the thing is getting them to have that attitude, having that know-how that they actually can do what they're trying to do or set up to achieve.
Thank you. What about very creative entrepreneurs that have too many ideas? What do you recommend for them to be able to achieve more and achieve peak performance?
Well, if you've got too many ideas, then which is often the case, is you got to focus on one or two. You got to pick one or two, because you've got too many ideas, then going to be too scattered. You're not going to be able to realistically be able to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. So I would say, if you got, hey, I want to do this, I want to do A, B, C, and D. Well, pick A. What is your A? Let's focus on that one first. We can always do B later. Let's go ahead and just focus on what, and therefore you're going to be kind of like a horse with blinders on. You have to be very, very, very focused on where you want to go. If you're seeing too much, then you're going to be way too scattered.
Thank you. And what's the biggest mistakes that entrepreneurs make when they want to grow their business?
The thing that I see is that they are trying to go the cheap or the free route. And I've said this numerous times. Going the free route is by far the most expensive way to go, because you're going to be giving up time. You're going to be, I want to watch a YouTube video. I want to watch this. I don't want to spend any money on a coach or a mentor or some other kind of a coaching program. And they try to figure it all out on their own. And they will realize that by going the free route, they're spending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years on a topic that they could have hired somebody for, say, $1,000 that they could have accomplished in 1 month rather than in, say, 4 or 5 years. And here's a perfect example of that for me. Is that when I remember when I wrote my first book, and it took me 2 months. I was struggling, learning how to do page numbers on my book. It's like, how do I figure out this whole page number thing? And because as you know, with most books, you don't have page numbers on your title page or on your table of contents. Those are, if anything, those are going to be Roman numerals. If you got a book that ends on the right hand side, and when you flip the page over on the left, it's going to be a white page. There's no page number on there. It's like I spent like 2 months trying to figure that out, and then I hired somebody on Fiverr for like $25 that did it for me in 24 hours. And then I realized, like, how much time have I been wasting in other areas of my life and other areas of my business where I'm trying to go the free route, and I realized that I'm wasting so much time, even to the point where in some cases I've seen people where they give up on their dreams because they're trying to go the free route, and they could have hired somebody else that was a professional that would help them get through that process. That they were actually are investing into not only into themselves but also into their business.
Thank you. Do you have any steps that entrepreneurs can take in order to optimize their performance and reach peak performance?
Is to be willing to learn and to grow. I mean, the thing is, you have to, when you're growing any kind of a business, especially if this is your first one, there's going to have to be an investment into yourself. And in 2014, I spent I don't know, maybe $15,000 into a coaching program where it was several years long, where I could uh, uh, be around other like-minded people, but also that where I was investing into my own education. So my whole thing is make sure to invest into your business, invest into yourself, invest into your knowledge so that you can grow as quickly as possible.
Thank you so much. Now, what I found is that I've always been focused on high performance, so much so that
Mhm.
um, not only high performance, but also achieving a lot of things, some of them seemingly impossible. Okay. And what I found is that having a really great routine can help with that. And not only a great routine, but a routine that incorporates joy into it as well. So, for example, it's not just about achieving your business goals, but also being happy and celebrating and having fun while you're doing it. So, for example, let's say that you need to do a certain task for your business. And then if you incorporate joy into it, I find it's a lot easier to actually cope with what you actually have to do. Then maybe there are some tasks you don't like and so on. So do you find that incorporating joy or any other thing, does that help with peak performance? Or do you have another suggestion that you feel, oh, this other thing should be incorporated in, and that will make the biggest difference to an entrepreneur's life?
Absolutely. And now you call it routines. I call it systems. You have to create systems. Systems that you can work on a day to day, you have a routine, or as you were saying, or a system that you go through. And I am 100%, I do feel that, yes, you've got to reward yourself when you achieve different milestones in your career or in your personal life. You have to reward yourself, and I don't care if it's a financial reward or if it's if it's a, hey, I'm going to take a day off, I'm going to go for a hike, whatever you consider is a reward. You absolutely have to do that, because when you because if you don't reward yourself, then everything just becomes work, and we don't get enjoyment of just doing work. But having that reward, I don't care if it's like I was just saying, you go for a walk, or you're getting a massage, or you go to treat yourself to a nice dinner. Whatever it is, you have to be able to reward yourself somehow. Because then, when you reward yourself, then your mind is going to say, hey, yeah, I did something well. I feel good. I get that endorphin rush because of that, and then I want more of that, and therefore that's going to entice you to do more and to be better.
Thank you so much. Do you recommend anything like following the Miracle Morning protocol of, there's actually an author that wrote about that, Miracle Morning, where you spend about 20 minutes doing exercise, prayer, some sort of meditation, gratitude, writing in your journal, reading a little bit? Do you incorporate any of those into any of your students' or clients' routines, or at least do you advise them to do it? And does that have a good impact on their overall well-being and performance?
I mean, I'm a big supporter of meditation. Now, some people journal. When people journal, they usually do it at the end of the day, not at the beginning of the day, because they talk about this is what I accomplished. But I do believe that having some form of meditation, say in the mornings, to get you grounded, to get you going, is a very is going to be very helpful because then you can start your day knowing what you're wanting to do, or what is it you want to accomplish. Now there is something that I learned a few years ago. Now I've written about it in two of my four books. It's called it's called free writing. And I've done this several times. And free writing, if you don't know what that is basically you get into a quiet place, no cell phones, no distractions around, no kids, no husband, no wife, nobody else around you, and you with paper and pencil or paper and pens. It needs to be something tactile, is that you at the very top of the page you say K equals Kevin, and then G, then maybe you also say G equals God, or A equals Allah, or whatever, U equals the universe, and then you start asking yourself questions. And my third book was based upon that free writing exercise. I was like, I want to write a book on mindset, and I wrote the premise of the entire book in one 45-minute exercise. And essentially, when you're doing that is you may start off with very generic questions, but then you start getting into more specific ones, and with that, you can start getting more clarity as to either your spiritual belief or maybe your subconscious mind as to are you still on the right path, and what is it that I want to accomplish right now, what is it that I want to accomplish today, and doing something like that. And if you're doing it with no, what do you call it, with no reservations as to what the results are, it's just getting it's really will help you with your clarity of thought of doing something like that on a maybe on a monthly basis, or maybe on a quarterly basis, or even maybe every 6 months or so. Just say, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing right now?
Wow, that's such great advice. Thank you so much for your contribution. And we'll see you all in the next episode. Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential business titans, providing you with the insights to awaken to your full potential so you can get paid to be yourself, find true happiness, and manifest anything you desire.